and you don't, my coffee maker quit working or quit gurgling in the background. So like the audio should be not weird.
I don't hear it. So we're all
Okay.
good.
All right. Okay.
So, okay. So we're with Michelle and Laura Michelle today and just clarifying that you have signed a release form. Thanks for getting that
Yes.
in so quickly. You understand this is going on YouTube. It will be available for the public. And you're all good with that.
It's all
Okay.
good.
Okay, so we're doing a clarity session. You filled a form out in advance. This is very common that by the time the appointment comes, people are like, I have different questions or I have a different issue. So it's totally fine. So
Okay.
before we hit record, you have like part one and part two.
Okay.
You have one question and then we'll dive into some other stuff. So
Okay.
let's just go.
Okay. All right.
What's your question?
Um, well, I'll start with the really simple one to just float that out there. And this doesn't really have like a action plan behind it, but I've been having a lot of headaches and like really weird lethargy just following me lately. And I just,
I can't do medical.
oh, okay. Oh,
But
okay.
I can refer you to the person I use for medical stuff and physical stuff, and that's Brooke Roy.
Okay.
You know her?
I'm not sure if I know her through the circle or
Yeah, I'm gonna
not.
put it
So,
in the, she's very reasonably priced and she's
yeah.
she's who I go to. But I will say, not a doctor, but also the first thing that came to mind when you said that is not enough water or not enough hydrated.
Okay.
Like we can drink a lot of water, but if we're still having some like, if I'm hearing not enough water, it can mean the minerals that are in the water, like
Okay.
magnesium, potassium, uh,
Okay.
salt.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I,
Yeah,
I
because I didn't think like a big anything associated with it. I'm just like,
yeah.
why is this like coming in?
I
So
mean, that's
yeah,
what I
so
initially
yeah.
heard, but also it's not a bad idea to book a session with Brooke. She's really good.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So like my main question is I've been working really hard on my business for like the last 5 years, but one part of it that kind of continues to elude me, and I don't know if I'm getting in my own way or if it's not something that matches up energetically with my own kind of like routines or like thought processes. I'm trying to grow my wholesale accounts.
Okay.
And um, you know, I know all of the things I should be doing with that. Like at least I feel like I do, but um I just noticed like this weird hesitation I have with it. I've got some really like really beneficial, really good wholesale type, business relationships, but I just still shy away from that in general. And I'm not sure if it's,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. Cause like like personal energy wise, like I have a tendency to like I am a routine person, but I also have a tendency to like work in cycles where I like work really, 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 really hard. And then,
Yeah, that's okay.
and I don't know if there's like hesitation I have with that meeting up with like the like required routine that comes with wholesale, or I don't know.
I see what you're saying. Okay, tell me, uh, first of all, you have wonderful products and our whole household uses them. So full transparency, we're one of Michelle's customers. And if you want to send me your website link, I'll put it in the YouTube description. So, um, what are the steps to w- walk me through if how do you become how do you build wholesale relationships? You know what to do, but you're not doing it. But what do you do? What are you
Okay.
supposed to do?
So there's kind of, in my way of thinking, there's like two ways generally that I've done it. And I really do like the more organic one where I make sure I'm out there a
Yeah.
lot,
Yeah.
all over the place. And, you know, I've had relationships built on just that. Do you know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
find me a great product or someone refers me to somebody, and
Yeah.
it's like I
Like at a
really
little shop or something.
right. And like I know that sounds like really low effort, but I really like that.
It's okay.
I
Yeah.
like that way in the way that, you know, I guess I have a hesitancy to like go out and sell myself because it's like I know I should be, you know, I've got my, you know, price line sheet and you know, I feel like I probably should be more active in actually going out and soliciting and like, you know, the whole email or telephone call, like, hi, when's a great
Would
time for me to
you
come
like
in and meet
to local
you?
stores or
Um, so um where I'm
shops?
located it's extremely rural. And one of my business relationships that I have that's like cornerstone to me is um that's the only store that I can have in that county. And so for me, like in other counties, I have to like, you know, I have to go at least out a minimum of 50 miles to 100 to start doing more like
Oh,
regional. Do you know what I mean?
I
So that I
do.
don't get into that
Okay.
area.
Okay.
And yeah, um,
So, uh, and these would be cold calls, so to speak.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't like cold calls.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Lots of people don't like that, and it's definitely if there's other ways we can figure out for you to do this. Cold calls are like the worst. They're
Well,
the
that's like I don't like doing them and I don't like getting them.
Yeah, they're super hard because people are like, I don't want your soap. Like, or like, why are you here? Or
Right,
how
right.
he's sick today or whatever. So let's start with
With
how many wholesale accounts do you have now?
three.
And how many do
Three.
you want?
If I'd really like if I could actually get like two very solid ones that match up with like my most solid one, like I would be very happy. You know, if I ended up with a total of like, because some of the ones I have right now are very small, you know, and or intermittent, I should say, you know, depending on the
Right,
holiday.
they're just kind of
And
random. You can't
yeah,
count
right,
on them.
right. You
Okay.
know, and like I think that's part of my hesitancy too with wholesale accounts is it's like I don't uh, because it feels so random or um you know, like some stores, like they'll just want to feature a new person and then they drop you and then they can pick up a new person. And so it's like I
Sure.
have, you know what I mean? Like I'm like, I don't know. I drag my feet on it. I know I do.
Okay. What it sounds like is happening is you're pre-deciding how it's going to go.
Hmm.
And so then that takes all the energy out of it.
Hmm.
But two is such a reasonable goal.
Hmm.
So let's say you have like 2% conversion rate,
Hmm.
then you would need to call on only 20 places. Is that right?
Hmm.
Not great with
10%.
numbers.
Yeah. If it was a 10%.
10%. So
Yeah.
if it was 2%, you'd have to call on 200 places.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still not that bad. Is there
Hmm.
200 places within driving distance? Probably not, I would
Yeah.
say.
Not out here.
Okay. And are you willing or able to ship? I know shipping
Yes.
is like
Yes.
through the roof
Yeah.
right now, but uh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I can do shipping. It's just then it kind of limits more of, you know, my product variety because there's some things that are kind of difficult to ship in bulk, you know,
Yeah,
versus other
like
things. Yeah.
lotion numbers, I'm
Yeah.
guessing probably are
Yeah.
not to
Yeah.
ship. They might melt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You
Okay.
know, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this sounds very doable to me. So have you ever had to sort of cold call to get one of your wholesale relationships or make a sale?
Have,
Ever?
have I ever have I ever done it or have I ever
Yeah.
had it happen?
Have you ever done it? Have you ever reached
Um,
out to people?
I have I don't know if this really I've done it through networking, like through
Oh,
you know, kind of like EDA or,
Okay.
county business networking type, luncheon type things. So I've done that. I just haven't just I guess the one I've avoided is showing up on someone's doorstep or calling them on the phone.
Okay, so if you have access to networking groups, why do you, I'm curious why you think you have to do that.
Uh, well, the one network group, they literally only meet like I've only seen them meet like twice a year. And like when the last meeting I went to, that was the last connection that I made with somebody. Like, and most of the people there, she was the only boutique owner.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's I don't know. I mean, I definitely agree with that. Like that environment definitely feels much more energetically like, yes, I like that method better than
Yeah, it works
cold calls.
better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
what other networking options are available?
Oh. Um, boy. Um, I guess maybe, one that's crossed my mind is I just recently met someone who's a realtor, and I know that there's some soap makers that have relationships with realtors as far as like once in a while, bulk purchases because realtors will give gifts to new clients,
Yes.
so maybe I could reach out to that person and,
Yeah.
give them a sample sheet and, um, but yeah, the networking, I'm like, hmm. We used to have a small business social media group that I was a part of, but that we quit doing that during COVID, so that pretty much died, and that didn't have a lot of networking abilities to like the right kind of business relationships. But um, hmm,
If I said that you have to find these two wholesale accounts before the end of the year or close your business,
mhm,
would that fire you up a bit? Your energy is
hmm,
very low, and I hear you that you're also struggling with maybe some dehydration or something.
mhm,
But
mhm,
I don't feel like a passion here. And this is hard. It's hard to network and sell your stuff and sell yourself, even if it is a warm lead like your
mhm,
realtor. And I definitely would recommend doing that, like
mhm,
reaching
mhm,
out to that person.
mhm.
So what's the disconnect here?
Um, well, I think well, part of the disconnect has to do with the fact that um I've grown a lot, but I'm literally at this point where I've basically filled up our house with so do you know what I mean? Like I've got it's,
Yeah.
um I'd like to have an outdoor we're hoping to like transition our garage into a soap um, like my business space.
Yeah.
Right, because like right now I'm like basically busting out of the seams in any space that I can use in the house. And so like there's kind of some frustration or um, like literally if things grew much more than it is right now, I don't know where I would put everything or how I would,
Is this supplies or
you
product?
know, both, because like I've pushed to the point where I can, I finally have enough inventory that I can, meet my retail and wholesale if I, match up with new wholesale accounts. Um, but it's like I don't have any more available space, so there's kind of like a little bit of
But if you connected with someone and sold them at your product, would you
mhm.
have space?
um it would definitely be a challenge to like I'd have to like because I've tried to keep some like clear spaces in the house so that I don't feel like my business is in every
No,
corner
I
of,
mean, like you said, you
oh,
have product in the house.
hmm,
So if you sold an order to a wholesaler, like even as a sample order, would that free up space in the house?
um, yeah, but like right now I've got all of my curing racks full, so like, um, Do you know what I mean? Like it would
Yeah.
only it'd be a temporary resolution. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm not like overstocked.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
at this
I hear.
fine balance of.
Yeah. Okay. And when or what's the target for being able to work and store all your stuff in the garage?
Um, well, my husband's been working on cleaning it. I had hoped to be able to start moving some stuff in partially this year, which is still possible, but it would have to be items that are more like just packaging stuff that's not heat or cold
Mhm.
sensitive, like that, which would
Yeah.
help,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, I don't know, it's a challenge right now because I feel like I'm bumping into myself when I'm in my workspace. So there's like that frustration. You
I
know what I
hear
mean?
you. But what I'm hearing is that so we're looking for all the steps and then we have to figure out the first step. And it sounds like the first step is tackling the garage,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which can happen at the same time you're starting
Doing the other stuff.
conversations with people. So,
Mm-hmm.
what has to be done with the garage?
Um,
And is there a target date on the calendar? Because if there isn't, we'll
right,
have the same conversation next June.
right,
And the garage
right. No,
will
I
be
can hear,
done.
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there isn't a target date on there. My husband's just basically been going out and working on it. And like because like I tried cleaning it and I was like, oh my gosh, because he's got hobbies. And so like the garage is like his station for hunting and fishing and all
Okay.
of his, yeah. So he's definitely made progress in it. So like I feel like he's made enough progress at this point that if I was like, well, I'm ready to move in, shelving, I think
Yeah.
he'd be able to make me space, so I
Okay.
could, it's just, yeah. So I think that could easily be doable by the end of the month, having some, shelving in there for,
Okay,
um,
I'm gonna write that down. Shelving by June 30th. And I know it's not like ideal or permanent at all, but it is one tangible thing you
mhm,
can accomplish, which will help with your energy.
mhm,
It's
mhm,
like you're bumping into yourself in the supply um, zone, but you're also bumping into yourself internally because
mhm,
you think
mhm,
about doing something and then you hit a wall. You're like,
mhm, mhm,
yeah, but I don't have any space and I hate cold calls, which I don't blame you. And also, even if I did, the garage still isn't done. So it's like this
mhm.
ricocheting effect, literally and figuratively, like
Right, right.
outside and inside, this ping-ponging, which is exhausting.
Mhm, mhm. Yep,
So
yep.
if shelving got done by the end of the month, would that help enough to take the next step?
I think it would I think it would alleviate some of the mental
Yeah, yeah.
the blockage that I've got with it
Mhm.
because you just at one point you just start feeling like you're just shifting. I feel like I'm just becoming better organized. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yes, you're just
and
moving
you
stuff
just
around.
you're just
Yeah.
cramming it into smaller and smaller spaces and it's like and then it's just
And
yeah.
Michelle, that makes it extremely hard to sell
Mhm,
because your energy is just, it's not available.
mhm,
There's no available space. Again,
mhm,
like there's literally and figuratively, energetically,
mhm.
there's no space for wholesale accounts.
Right. Right. Well, and it's been hard too because with all of the tariff stuff, then I had to
Yeah.
pre-buy. I pre-bought stuff with the, concern that I might not be either be able to get it or,
Yeah.
you,
Valid.
you know, so it's like, so I took up any extra space I had with, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah. You're
stocking
spreading.
up. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So there's no space for wholesale accounts at the moment, energetically or physically. So you can let yourself off the hook on that temporarily. So the first step I would see is really focus on that garage and
Hmm.
getting the shelves in there so you can put your excess product or anything that can tolerate temperature, packaging,
Hmm.
whatever your
Hmm.
products are, anything that you can get out of the house and into the garage, you can do that.
Hmm.
Why, and I would also say take the cold call off the table for now
Okay.
because you're not going to want to do it, and that's going to exhaust your system because you're going to be trying to make yourself do it and
Mm-hmm.
not doing it, and then you're breaking promises to yourself, and like
Mm-hmm.
those are all such huge energy drains.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Mm-hmm.
only talking about two accounts here.
Mm-hmm.
So when we only have to achieve a small number, then it's a better idea to start with what we're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't work after a couple of months of
Mm-hmm.
reaching out, then you can branch into the more uncomfortable areas. Then you have to start stretching your nervous system and doing all
Mm-hmm.
that. But I'm not
Mm-hmm.
hearing that you need to do that
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Am hearing that you need to branch out and go to more events as a participant, uh, going to more
Do you mean as a vendor or is it like a person going there for
as a
fun?
person just cruising around. Or
Okay.
if you're there as a vendor, circulating more
Okay.
among anybody who might, with a handful of samples
Okay.
and just being like, oh, that booth over there is a florist.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they would carry some soap.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Anybody
Yep.
who you remotely think might be interested
Okay.
in carrying some of your products, even if they're little, right? Because sometimes
Right.
you have to just keep making those contacts and you
Right.
start out with some little ones and it'll be kind of a pain in the ass, but it can lead you to your ideal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So making the rounds, handing out cards and soap chunks or
Mm-hmm.
diffuser, whatever, however you choose to handle that. And then if there are other events that you're not a vendor at, going to them anyway, same thing
Mm-hmm.
with your
Okay.
stuff, like home and garden show or whatever. And then mapping out 50-mile radius around where you live
Okay.
and making that your target first. Where are the
Okay.
farmers markets? And if you have to go out to 75 or 100, okay, fine, but I hear you, like that's exhausting too. That's a 2-hour drive
Mm-hmm.
each way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
50 is better, 75 is not great, 100 is really not great. So
Mm-hmm.
let's start with 50 and what you're looking for is networking groups
Okay.
and events.
Okay.
And then you make contact with the event coordinator, not looking for more places for you to be a vendor because you have to preserve some energy to do this part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see you like doing more than you're already doing for shows yourself, but you can attend more fairs.
Mm-hmm.
Like our little teeny town just had the Crepe Myrtle Festival, at downtown, and there were like tons of vendors that I could see could potentially be contacts for you.
Mm-hmm.
Those types of fairs. I mean, the
Right.
honey guy might want some soap. You could
Mm-hmm.
make a custom soap for them that has some of their honey in it, and they're the
Mm-hmm.
only ones that have that soap or
Yep.
whatever. Um,
Okay.
a chamber of commerce.
Mm-hmm.
Our teeny weeny chamber of commerce has like one day a week where it's really just exchanging information.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's at the crack of dawn. I haven't gone to it yet, but it is an option.
Mm-hmm.
You just go, oh, what do you sell? Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
sell, and doing some more of that.
Yep. Yeah, see, ours folded. We don't even have one in our town.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
it.
Like
Ours is
we are
itty bitty.
small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in Monroe.
Yeah.
It's small, but
Mm-hmm.
Athens is nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta is a little farther than I'd like to drive, but it's an hour and 15 minutes. I could,
Yep.
and I may
Yep.
have to, because I'm doing the same thing you're doing. Only looking for speaking engagements and
Yep.
looking to sell soap and
Yep.
all the cool stuff that you make. Does this
Yep.
make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay with spreadsheets or how do you
Oh
track?
gosh, yes, yes.
I was about to say, I bet you're a spreadsheet
I've
machine.
I Yeah, I actually discovered pivot tables 2 years ago. Or do you do spreadsheets yourself?
Only Google Sheets
Okay.
for
Well, anyway, when I discovered pivot tables, they basically it's like this, it's not a hard function, but it was a function that when I discovered it, I can't even tell you the amount of hours that it saved me by simply so
Wow.
like I've been but so anyway, yes, I'm with spreadsheets because I've tried probably 5 different inventory and software methods and nothing ever meets exactly how I want it to work. So
Okay. So
I
you
am
know
mired
how
in
to track.
yes. Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
today is June 17th.
Yep.
By June 21st, can you set up a tracking sheet to start listing events in one column and Chamber of Commerce's or networking groups in a different column, however you choose to set it up, the 3 clusters, events that you could go to and hand out stuff, chambers of commerce, and just general networking events.
Okay. Well, I can do that.
If it's on paper, Michelle, it's going to give your energy a place to go. Right now,
Okay.
your energy is lake-like.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's broad and it's here, but
Mm-hmm.
there's very little motion to it. A spreadsheet is banks for the river, or you know
Mm-hmm.
how when they open the outlet valve
Yep.
for the lake,
Mm-hmm.
there's concrete banks or it's a irrigation ditch or whatever. There's
Mm-hmm.
banks that force the water to concentrate and
Yep.
it can start to move. The
Yep.
spreadsheet takes this lake-like energy that's here, I can feel it, but unfocused, it gives it the
Mm-hmm.
things to start to move. Does that make sense to
Mm-hmm.
you?
Yep. Yep. It does.
Yeah. I, to me, when you say two, I hear like that's a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is not going to be hard for you at all. I
Mm-hmm.
think your energy is being drained by thinking you have to do it in a way that sucks instead
Mm-hmm.
of finding a way that feels good to you, that feels happy
Right.
to you.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's another group of people to consider as aromatherapists.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you already get in touch with them?
They're very limited around here. It's actually it'd probably be easier to actually get a hold of spas. Do
Okay.
you know what I mean? Because like
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Spas, hairdressers.
Mm-hmm.
Who
Yeah.
else? Who could you make who might store your products? What about local car washes?
We don't yeah, like they're all
Well,
auto-
within our 50-mile loop.
I think they're all automated. All of our,
Oh, okay. What
yeah.
about local mechanics,
Yeah.
garages
Mm-hmm.
within a 50-mile radius?
Mm-hmm.
It might not be, again, it might be like a connection to a different connection.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Those are those little lead magnet style products that take a
Mm-hmm.
counter that are your car diffusers.
Yep. Okay. Okay.
Or you could pitch this. They're also nice client gifts. And
Yep.
although it's June, Christmas is not that far away.
Right. Right.
Be making
Okay.
a nice client gift to send somebody a coupon to come into the store to pick out a car
Mm-hmm.
diffuser.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I can see
And
that.
you don't have to do any of these. I'm just trying to like really brainstorm and create space for new ideas to come in. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
like even ridiculous. Like I'll tell people when you're doing something like this, selling drugs, opening an OnlyFans account, that kind of stuff needs to be on there. Everyone who subscribes gets a free bar of soap and you're taking pictures of your feet or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, just like crazy stuff.
Right.
Um, I feel like your best opportunities are probably at networking groups outside your community.
Okay.
Do you know what your human design profile numbers are by chance?
I feel like it's 2-4. It's like generator. Uh,
I just need the profile numbers because I'm thinking you might have a four because networking is really coming through strongly for you. And fours are all about networking. Most of
Mhm,
my line four clients don't ever advertise in traditional ways. They go to networking groups, they talk
mhm,
to people, they meet face to
mhm,
face or on Zoom or something like that because it's the network and then it's the people that that network connects you to outside your inner circle. So you
mhm,
from a circle, you need some new people here, and those people refer you to other people, and often it's that outer layer, that referred layer, that
mhm.
works really well for line fours.
Okay.
Are there any home and garden shows coming up?
I think
That,
there might be one in the spring in the like otherwise if there are they would be in the Twin Cities, which is it's like a that's about 2 hours away.
ugh.
So like so locally is there's one in the spring.
What about Ace Hardware stores?
There's a couple of those locally.
Occasionally, local Ace Hardware stores will carry local products.
Hmm.
That's something
Hmm.
to talk to. You could just call them, ask to
Hmm.
speak to the manager,
Hmm.
ask them if they
Hmm.
carry local products,
Hmm.
what you sell. And then
Hmm.
if they're like, no, we don't do that,
Hmm.
always ask, do you know anybody who does?
Hmm. Okay.
When you're calling like the manager for Ace Hardware, it's a lot less icky than calling like the owner of a spa. Like to me, that feels a little harder
Hmm.
to do. I don't know why. That might just be my head making that up. But it's like you're just calling the manager of the store to ask a question.
Right. Right.
And if he's like, yeah, we do, then
Hmm.
you can say, is there a good time for me to come by and bring you some samples?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
Does that feel gross?
No, it doesn't feel gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I actually just need to make a list of boutiques and just,
Got to get it on
because like,
paper.
yeah, just get them on the paper and,
Get it on your spreadsheet. Do
yeah.
you talk to florists?
Um, there's one locally that I've talked to before that when you mentioned florist, I was like, I should reach out to her and see if,
Yeah.
yeah.
The only thing I feel like is happening here is just you need those riverbanks.
Hmm.
You need a
Hmm.
container to start putting this stuff in,
Hmm.
something that you can open and go, okay, I have an hour.
Hmm.
Here's another thing I would recommend is put an hour a day, Monday through Friday, on your calendar to do this.
Hmm. Okay.
Make make it a game. Like if I make 3 phone calls, I get whatever is fun for you.
Right. Right. Nope,
Bri
I've got that built into my,
Bribery works. Well, you
yeah,
probably have to, right?
yeah,
Making
yeah,
products is probably boring
yeah.
after a certain.
Well, it's just if I don't schedule in fun time for myself, it doesn't happen.
Yes, exactly.
So so I have to actually plan it in there,
Yeah.
and I often use it as the carrot too. So
Lots of people are building businesses that way. It's nothing new. Every coach who offers it thinks it's something new, but it's not. It's been around forever. It's people call it the miracle hour, the money hour, your business building hour. It's just an
yeah.
hour, Monday through
Hmm.
Friday, just 1 hour,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
you bribe yourself with whatever, and you open your spreadsheet, and then it kind
Hmm.
of becomes a game because you've got a list and you get to check the box or put
Right.
a sticker or whatever.
Hmm.
I have to
Hmm.
do the same thing, and I thought I was super gonna hate it. But actually, I'm finding it's not really as horrible as I thought it was gonna be.
Right. Right.
Because it's
I
just an
feel
hour.
like I've
Like we can do
I feel
anything.
like I've built this up in my head. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean that's okay.
and
That's exactly what this space is for, is so we can take the things that we build up in our head, lay them out on the table, and go, wait a minute. All I really have to do is organize this stuff.
hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
And with a goal of two, you might have to have 5 or 6
Right.
less than ideal ones to start. So
Right. Because
here's,
that's, yeah.
you do what you take. Don't say no to anybody.
Right.
They want 10 car diffusers every 6 months. Yes. Okay, fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And because then visually you're like, oh, look, my wholesale accounts are really growing.
Right. Right.
Okay. So then as a generator, so you have all that
Mm-hmm.
shelving, spread by the 30th, spreadsheet by the 21st,
Mm-hmm.
1 hour a day, Monday through Friday, doing something with that spreadsheet.
Okay.
Okay. Finding all the things that we talked about. And you'll get a copy of this too. So you
Okay.
can, like, when your brain's like, what? I don't remember what we talked about. You'll have a copy of this. So then as a generator, to manifest something you don't have, you are kind of doing it right now. You're talking about it, you're forming the structure around it, and you're like, I'm not going to turn anybody down, anybody that wants to place a wholesale order. Well, like you might have to have a minimum. Do you have a minimum
I
order?
do. I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But
So if
it's
somebody
as
wants a
far as
minimum,
minimum orders go, though, it's a fairly non threatening minimum, because it's,
okay. Yeah.
you
So
know.
anybody that wants your minimum order, they get it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
Mm-hmm.
say no to anybody. And then, but you're also holding in your thoughts and your meditations or prayer time or whatever you do when you're making product is a great time to be
Mm-hmm.
thinking
Mm-hmm.
about. I have all these and I appreciate them so much. And I really want this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Really want to wholesalers who are like this and they contact me this often and they always order these things and I love making products for them and I love distributing them or delivering them and just really amping that up in your
Mm-hmm.
field because
Mm-hmm.
that will bring you the smaller ones. You check with your sacral,
Mm-hmm.
this one, yes or no. This one, yes or no. Once they start showing up, or you weave your way through networking groups and make those connections. Real
Mm-hmm.
estate agents, I mean, there's got to be loads of those. And
As you can, yeah,
yeah,
they're all over.
yeah. So that's great
Yep.
to send out
Mm-hmm.
to.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's
Mm-hmm.
just another phone call, like, hey, I have a connection with a real estate agent. You can even ask that agent to connect you to other agents.
Mm-hmm.
Other agencies, like you start to form this spider web of
Mm-hmm.
networking yourself without
Mm-hmm.
having to go to a bunch of groups.
Right.
Um, so then generators, your strategy is wait to respond, right? So you think about it, you feel about it, you make the plan, you get organized, you're doing what you can do every day, and then you notice.
Mm-hmm.
You've said a couple of times in different areas that we've been in, I had a fleeting thought
Mm-hmm.
or this thing crossed my mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an accident.
Okay.
That needs to be jotted down either on that spreadsheet or someone somewhere else. If
Okay.
like I need to contact the bowling alley, and then your mind is like, that is ridiculous. The bowling alley does not need car diffusers or soap or
Mm-hmm.
lotion bars or whatever. I don't care. Put it on the spreadsheet. Notice
Mm-hmm.
if there's one near you, give them a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to
Okay.
sell local products? Because
Mm-hmm.
the more creative you get, I know you're already super creative. When you get the creativity and the permission to be just crazy with this,
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of stuff can start to come forward. And
Mm-hmm.
within a very short period of time, usually the ideal thing you're looking for comes to you.
Mm-hmm.
You can say yes or no to it. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to go out and look for it. We have to do
Mm-hmm.
some stuff, but holding that, talking about, dreaming about,
Mm-hmm.
contemplating. Oh my God, I would love it if the cut and curl would
Mm-hmm.
buy, whatever your dream client is.
Mm-hmm.
What is
Mm-hmm.
your dream client? Let's just speak it into the universe now. Like your
Oh, yeah.
wholesale, the best wholesale person you can imagine.
That would be someone someone who owns a boutique and um wants to form a relationship with a local
Yeah.
business, you know, that
Yeah.
um and um yeah, someone that really connects with their customers and brings in unique stuff. Like um I like that. And um someone who's open to me being creative and experimental with some of my, like changing things up,
Yeah.
seasonally, because
Okay.
that's the other thing is once you start making something like, obviously you want your core things to be popular, but it's nice when you can uh
Okay. Some
branch out and
creative
experiment and
freedom
stuff. Yeah,
and that they're excited about too. Like,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
of course, make me a seasonal product.
Yeah. um but yeah, I think boutiques would probably be the
Okay. And they
ideal.
pay on time and they
Yeah,
pay
they pay.
well,
Yeah, they pay their bills, and
they order
they're organized,
regularly.
and yeah, um and they're doing fun things too. So, you know, and they're passionate about um handmade, authentic, original type stuff, not just,
Artisan
cookie
stuff.
cutter. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And health. What are their values?
Um, I
Natural.
like it. Yeah, yeah. Like, if their values match up with mine, then they're going to want things that are ethical for the environment, ethically produced. Because there's certain things that I make and I do them the hard way because to me, I looking at either the cheaper ingredient or the easier way to package it doesn't match what I do for um like I don't want my things to have a big footprint, as far as like waste and recycling. It's like if I want them to be recyclable, but if I can even get beyond recyclable and have smaller minimal packaging, then
Yeah.
so yeah. Um and I want them to be, yeah, just passionate about people on the earth. I guess that's pretty much what that, you
Yeah.
know,
What
yeah.
causes do they support?
I could see them supporting well, I've thought about doing fundraisers for like the local humane society.
Just gonna say
So
animal shelters.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah, shelters, and they care about inclusivity, for people.
Yeah.
So um and care about letting people just be who they are, I guess. That's,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So animal shelters can go on the spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
There's a Caring for Cats place in Minneapolis
mm-hmm,
that I participated in fundraisers in for about 3 years,
mm-hmm,
um, with donations and stuff. So I think
mm-hmm,
they're still there. That's
mm-hmm,
that's someplace because they have a fundraiser every year,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and you can get in on that. The thing I dislike about stuff like that is sometimes it doesn't turn into subsequent orders.
Right,
Like you
right.
get your one off for the auction, but I
Mm-hmm.
mean, whatever. It's a good
Yeah.
cause, and maybe it leads to something, maybe it doesn't. But what
Mm-hmm,
will draw them in is you getting your energy
mm-hmm,
structured with a place to go and allowing for like this can happen in miraculous ways.
mm-hmm,
Like, it would be a fun question to play with. Like, what's the most ridiculous way I could connect with my ideal wholesale person? Like,
mm-hmm,
how fun could it be? You know,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
there could be all kinds of ways. It'd be fun to
Right.
have a fun story. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we met because a bear was chasing them and I tripped the bear, whatever. Like, some
Right. Right.
ridiculous story of how you met or you bumped into each other at the grocery store and you're lotion bar fell out of your purse or whatever, just to have fun with it, make it
Mm-hmm.
a game.
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, so animal shelters, Pet stores? Sometimes those are gross. Feed stores? Uh,
Yeah, feed stores around here is it's not my target market
right. You might
typically,
buy
you
some
know.
car
I
diffusers.
mean, my dad loves my soap, but a lot of farmers, you know, like they're gonna reach for
Just have
what's
wives and daughters, though.
yeah, yeah, true.
So just be crazy. Like, don't rule
Yep,
anything out.
yep.
Down to the go stick a note on the Tractor Supply. Or
Hmm.
sure you
Hmm.
have a locally owned feed store.
Hmm.
But
hmm
feed stores, bulletin boards are great places to put stuff. Or
hmm
if they would even
hmm
buy some lotion bars to put on the counter.
hmm
Because you
hmm
don't know who's going to come in, buy the lotion bar, who knows somebody who knows somebody. That's what
Right,
it's for.
right.
Connecting with everyone in creating as many opportunities for those miracle connections to happen.
Hmm.
But it might be the third or fourth person. It might not be the person who actually bought the initial product.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because your stuff is good and it's beautifully packaged. And, Kenan has a dashboard full of the little glass things because we're just going to send them back to you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're just like, why don't we just wait till we have we can throw it in, you know, priority mailbox for $8 or whatever. We don't care. Just get them back to you. Um, how does that plan feel? This has no cold calling in it. Well, not really.
Yeah, no, it feels a lot more, well, a lot less threatening or
Yucky.
overwhelming or yeah, like you know, I should say it feels less cringy,
It
you
is
know.
cringy. And then you're in service mode.
Hmm. Hmm.
You're giving people opportunity to put something beautiful in their place that
Hmm.
they would never have thought of. I guarantee
Hmm.
you, feed
Hmm.
store
Hmm.
Bob has never thought about stocking lotion bars
Hmm. Hmm.
or the Ace Hardware or whatever.
Right,
No?
right, right. Well, and yeah, because like I've had it on my to-do list to refresh my oh fair. There's a website for wholesalers. It's kind of like,
Oh,
so
clearinghouse.
yeah, well, not a clearinghouse, but like how Etsy is to like regular
Oh,
retail, this is to
oh,
wholesale.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm, you know, ready um to revisit that, because yeah, I think I don't know. Yeah, I've definitely made it bigger up in my head than it has to be.
That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's,
Hmm.
I mean, that's so normal.
Hmm.
So anchoring it gives it the riverbanks, and there's like 10 different things you can do during your hour every
Hmm.
day. And then it's not, when you're trying to force yourself to do something that has that ick factor in it, you're just spinning your wheels.
You spend a lot more energy avoiding it than you do what it would
Yes,
take to get it done.
torturing yourself with it. Or yes, you waste energy that, I mean, you could just do it, or it can be a red flag to you that you need to start asking those questions of
Mhm.
your yes, no sacral center.
Okay.
Okay, this is so gross. I keep dicking around about it. I'm just so sick of thinking about this. I'm trying to force myself. Is there something else here? Yes or no?
Right.
Is
Right.
there another way to connect with these wholesale distributors that I'm not seeing? Yes.
Hmm.
Is
Hmm.
what is this wall of frustration about? Because that
Right.
frustration is generators red light that
Hmm.
says stop. Something
Hmm.
out of alignment here.
Hmm.
Something
Okay.
is off. And when you stop and start asking those yes no questions, then you'll determine if it's frustration that, okay, you're just going to have to suck it up and bust through it. It's part
Hmm.
of your growth, it's part of your path. You're just going to have to like gear up and do the damn thing. Or most often you'll discover there's another way to do it, but because
Hmm.
your mind is torturing you, it develops tunnel vision and it's like this way or the highway. And
Yes.
when
Yes.
when you stop, you're like, hold on,
Right.
There's like 100 other ways we could do this that would actually be fun.
Right.
And
You
then,
totally nailed that. Yeah.
and then you get to question why are you always trying to do things the hard, torturous way?
What do
That's
you
the worst.
mean?
Then you get to work with your nervous system on how easy you can let it be and
Uh-huh.
how long will you let yourself be happy before you whip out the dream smashing hammer and complicate things again.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
business is personal growth
Mhm.
at the heart of it.
No joke. Yeah. Uh,
So I'll invite you to put this in our group,
mhm.
to let, because I mean, Catherine's an aromatherapist. She's probably not
Mhm.
interested in buying products, but she might know someone who wants that.
Mhm.
Or somebody else in there just be like, I'm looking for spas and boutiques that might want to carry these products. This is what I do. Here's my website. I'll invite
Mhm.
everybody to share their stuff on Wednesday, tomorrow, in the Practical
Mhm.
Human Design group. Make a separate post. Pe-
Mhm.
People put
Okay.
it under the comments and then nobody sees that. So
Okay.
make a separate post, just hashtag it promo Wednesday and
Okay.
just talk about that. Hey, I'm branching out. I'm looking for wholesalers. And
Mhm.
also, I sell this. Here's my website, blah, blah, blah. Put some product pictures up
Mhm.
there and just see what happens.
Okay. All
Movement.
right.
It's movement.
Yep. Movement. Okay.
And drink some water.
I will.
I can't hear.
Thank you.
What questions do you have?
No, I can't think of anything at the time because like I feel like it's broken down enough that I'm not going to just,
Right.
block it off and I feel like, getting some stuff moved into the garage space will help me because I know I'm tying that stuff into mental. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Where
yeah, of
everything,
course. Yeah.
not having its, like
It's real
the more
stuff.
complicated it gets for
Yeah.
me to like have everything have its own space, then it's like,
Yeah.
it's just, mentally, it affects my energy level mentally,
It
like,
absolutely does. And
you
there's
know,
external factors that are restricting your energy, which makes it hard to think expansively. So, like, don't be like, oh my God, I can't believe why am I so dumb or whatever. Like, don't do that. Because when your house is full, your brain is full, you can't think creatively.
Mhm.
Mind locks down for safety reasons. Your safety seeking self is like, I can't handle do anything about this, so I'm just going to lock in on this to
Mhm.
have something to feel terrible about, so at least I have something to feel.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's very protective and it's all normal stuff, which is
Mhm.
why we have to have places where we can be like, just talk it out, and then that energy can start to move. And
Mhm.
that's my background, is breaking things down tiny and structuring them into
Mhm.
was treatment plans, and now we just do marketing instead.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that spreadsheet, I think, is going to feel very good to you. Um, and then it's a lot easier to talk yourself into doing outreach 1 hour a day or research 1 hour a day
Mhm.
than to talk yourself into cold calling.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Yuck. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not surprised you didn't want to do that. Who wants to do that? I guess there's some crazy people who enjoy that, but I'm not one of them.
No, it's like that would be a form of torture for me. So that's why, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't have to.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Let me know how it goes. Tag me on your post if you put this out in public or somewhere that I can share it so that I can share it.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to stop the recording.